in this last construction, begins with the caret and ends with the $sign, we had a problem, but that problem was not immediately apparent in our example. We are going to show this capture group here, and by the way, we'll include subcapture group, in order to show what that problem is and the solution to that problem. Let's go over here to regex. Now, what if I want begins with BG? Now, I've got two of them that begin with BG, and we know how to make that, right? Begins with BG. And I want ends with H exclamation point. So we do the H exclamation point and $sign. Begins with BG and ends with H exclamation point. Well, wait a minute. I only have one that works. But what about this one? It begins with BG and ends with H exclamation point. Okay, now we have a problem. And the problem is, where does this stop? Does this begin with BGH and end with exclamation point? Or does it just begin with B and then end with GH exclamation point? We can't tell which of these characters in between belong with which of these symbols over here. So I can solve that with parentheses. This is the same way that you group things in algebra, for example. So let's put a set of parentheses around the first ones and a set of parentheses around the last ones. And now we have begins with BG, ends with H exclamation point. But wait a minute, this one begins with BG and ends with H exclamation point. How come it isn't included? Well, that's because we haven't allowed for any characters in between here. We've said only this character, whatever is in this first one, and then this set of characters, whatever is in the second one, but nothing in between. So let's try to remember what was any character in between. So any character was represented by a dot. Well, but that's only one of any character. We want any number of any character. And if you remember back, in fact, let's go back and refer to it, 0 or more times the previous character was represented by the splat here, or the asterisk. So let's put dot splat or dot asterisk. Now we have this and this included. And that's because we can have any number of any character in between, as well as what it begins with and what it ends with. Very nice. Now, by the way, I didn't put subgroups in here. I can also include sets of parentheses and nest them just like I do in an algebra problem.